Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my channel. This is Velga, and today I'm going to be showing you this brand new artwork that I will be drawing using my free anti-AI brushes that I talked about in my previous video, which a lot of you liked, and I'm very thankful for that. But first of all, I'd like to take this time to thank you. Thank you very much to those of you who have come here. I was stuck at like 2,500 subscribers for a super long time, and I really just stayed there. 2,500, it just seemed like it went nowhere. I never went past the 2,500 mark, pretty much. That's what happened for a long time. And I really thought it was just like impossible to get past 2,500. So like I just kept on doing YouTube anyway because it felt good. But after posting my last video, a lot of you seemed to like it, and I went from 2,500 to over 3,200, and now I even have almost 3,500 subscribers in what seems like it's almost overnight, kind of. It's like I've never had that many people come over and watch my videos and liked that many times and commented so much, all in the course of like a week. So I'm very thankful for that. I even got my first ever coffee on Ko-fi. I've never had a coffee before, so thank you very much for giving me my first ever coffee. And I also saw that many of you downloaded my brushes, the anti-AI brushes, and if you don't know what those are, I made an anti-AI brush pack and it's free. The link is in the video description below. It's the one that looks like this. The thumbnail looks like this, and lots of you were even generous enough to leave a tip, and I'm very thankful for that. I hope you have fun with them, because I myself have a lot of fun using those brushes myself, as I will be showing you shortly in this video. And for those of you who want to download these brushes, it's free. It's on my Gumroad store. And Gumroad, when you want to download the brushes, Gumroad might ask you to enter, like it probably will actually, as in like money. Like you can just enter $0, as in $0, and then you hit download, and that should work fine. I don't plan on making this like a paid brush pack. It should be free forever. So if you ever find this brush pack anywhere and it's like free, well, you're not looking at one of mine, or somebody else reposted my brush pack and mine is free for life. And if you'd like to find my Gumroad store, it will always be in my video description box. So go ahead and go there. And now, having said all that, let's get straight into the video. I'm doing a bit of a, I don't even know what to call this. It's a mount, a fantasy mount, but it doesn't look like a vehicle, so it looks like a monster. I'm not exactly sure what to call this on. I've never heard of the genre called mount design before, and what I'm doing is somewhat spontaneous. Like I'm not exactly sure how I want this to look. And just to give you a quick recap of what this is, and I'll use red so you can see clearly. So this entire thing is a mount, at least part of it, because I haven't drawn the whole thing. And this here would be where the rider would sit. So this is like the backrest, and the rider would sit inside here. And this thing that you see is actually sort of like a carpet, and you can see the tassels over here hanging. Even though this might be a gnarly looking mount, I do want the rider to feel comfortable inside. And if I was the rider, I would like a carpet or like a blanket of some kind, because it might be cold or it might be too rough, you know, riding on this thing. Because this thing is made of wood, made of trees, and this entire thing is made of like woody type of thing. So here's the front. This is the entire front, and you can see here it's made of like a face. See that? This looks more readable now that I've rotated the thing. And this one's the eye, and the mouth, and the chin, and it sort of just goes up towards here into this bulging type of the back of the head area, and it's got lots of chopped off trees here. On this side, it's kind of functioning sort of like a blunt type of horns, because it's all chopped off. And the reason it's all being chopped off is because well, it sort of served as a ram, because this thing can just ram into whatever, it could be like a gate, could be anything. But if it's just full trees, maybe it might get tangled into like on lots of things, especially if this thing is traveling through like a busy town. So it might get tangled, and instead I have left behind the intact trees up here only, which will have some uses. Maybe I'll be able to like tie, like, I don't know, like a net like that, just to prevent big things from flying that way and hitting the rider who's going to be in here. And this one part here of the tree coming out of this little wooden burrow, and if you don't know burrows are sort of like the tumors of plants, of trees. And I had it a lot because I love tumors. And here's a couple. This, of course, there's this one that I just talked about that came out of this one big burrow. And here's another one. And behind it is like a sort of giant burrow coming out of a hole in the body of this tree creature. And I'm going to be drawing an arm that's going to go like that later. And so the back, it sort of ends here shortly after it goes towards the neck area, I suppose. So it kind of looks like an embryo that way. And this might be a bit gnarly, but these two stumps, there are two stumps right here, and it's chopped off. Could have been a tree, could have been going like that, There's two of them, but I chopped it off. I thought it just looked scary that way. This is quite like a wide canvas, so I'm planning on maybe, just maybe, making it go like that big, like a long mount. I thought it would be cool to draw like something long for once. But anyway, that's the plan. So let's just continue drawing. So, going over here. Okay, and here is thumb. This looking pretty much like an actual hand is okay. And since this looks good, I'm going to merge that below and then delete the guideline that I made. This one. And I can make that go into the ground like this. So the fingers of this thing are going to be buried in the ground. So it's kind of like the way it works. It's constantly facing down because it can't turn its head up because it's just affixed in place like that. And it's constantly just crawling. So it's never looking up. There are no eyes going that way. It's always going down there. So we've got one hand over here in the back. And I'm going to make another one. And wow, this might be a long video. Hopefully not though. I happen to like to ramble, and it can take a while if I ramble too much. So I'll just try to keep my mouth shut so you see more progress instead of hearing about talking. It's going to go this way. Okay, I can see better now. Okay, knuckle over here. Might be a bit much there. going into a joint, finger joint. Actually, right here could be another joint. Let's just delete this. Erase. Good idea to erase a lot instead of hitting undo. Highly recommend it, because when you use undo, you completely get rid of the thing you just did. It's completely gone. And if you erase instead, you leave behind some marks, which is good, because when you leave behind remnants of what you did before, and it just looks good. More of the palm over here. Okay, let's make the arm emerge now from this burl. Here's the wrist. I don't know if it's called the wrist bone, but you know the ones, the little bulging thing that exists on wrists. Might be a bit too human-like though, but that's okay. Let's clean it up a bit. Here is some wooden textures. Okay, I'm gonna delete this guideline. Make that fully opaque. And delete, erase, I mean not delete. Delete what I did in the back. I'm using Procreate, by the way, if you're wondering. It's a drawing app on the iPad. What now? I like how the arm ends up looking. Arms. Although I wonder if I should have brought it down some more. Okay, let's just see if it will look good. Wrist and also here. Yeah, okay. I think it would have looked better if I did that. Let's just extend it a little bit. Okay. Maybe this one too. You know what? No, let's make a measurement tool. Okay, so in the foreground, that's where the ground is. Oh, in the back, because I can make it go like there. Yeah, I think that's nice. That is nice. Okay, and now for the component in the back. I wonder why it should be some spikes on the wheels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's not quite right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, huh? No, I don't think it can be symmetrical. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's still not quite right. Needs to be longer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not long enough. 5, 6, 7. Gotta figure this one out, man. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let's do it this way. This will be easier. This one's gonna go here. This one's gonna go here. I would like there to be 7 spikes. There's just something about the number 7 when it comes to me and my world building. There's a reason. Doesn't have to make sense. Well, in terms of my world building, the number 7 has a certain meaning. But like when you're making like a theme, like when you're making art over and over, and it should belong, let's say, in a fantasy world, it's a good idea to have like a like a common thing that can make your artwork have a certain uniformity to them, just to make them look like they all belong together. And in this case, it's number 7. I'll give you an example. This character I did, he's got 7 spikes on his head. This actually could be a potential god that I might be putting into my own world building. And this character design of mine, on one of his kneecaps, he's got this kneecap made of like a metallic mask, and it's got 7 spikes on its head. Here's another one, character artwork that I did, and this is of like what I call the Vine Sentinels. They are just supposed to be huge, and they are clad in vine armor all around, kind of like a symbiote. And look at the spikes on each of his guard armor plates. There are 7 spikes here. Let me just show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's like 2 more that you cannot see on the other side. And also here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spikes. The number 7 has meaning in my world. Also this is a concept of like a berserker type of armored soldier. I call these guys the Molar Knights, and also they've got 7 spikes on their heads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And also here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on the chin area as well. It's everywhere. Like, these little things might seem like something no one will notice, but I assure you, if you make lots of art and you keep this one or 2 common things that you always keep every single time, people will notice. There's just something about the theme that you're building that people can't quite put their finger on, but it's there. In my case, it's the number 7. So back to the artwork of my mount. I'm going to take that and then rotate. Could call this the easy way of designing, because yeah, I made 1 spike. Why do I have to make 7 different spikes? And I can just place each spike where they need to belong, because yeah, I can hand draw 7 spikes, but at least in this case I would like to have the spikes to look the exact same, because this is supposed to be like a mount slash character design type of thing, where things need to be somewhat accurate. Because if I were to hand draw these spikes 1 by 1, then it'll turn into less of a design type of thing and more into like an artsy looking thing, like a beautiful thing, which is okay, but that's not what I want to do in this case. Cool. And this one is to be rotated even more. Okay. Let's just make them touch the wheel. Here's another one, make them touch, and also this one. I wonder if I can get this one right. There. I think this looks quite nice now. Let's just merge this together. Make a duplicate. I wonder if a smaller wheel would be okay. Yeah, it looks nice actually. A bit too small. Okay. Let's erase out this part. And this as well. Make a duplicate. And erase this part. Oops, too much. There. That part's going in the ground. Now I wonder how I could make this one work. Let's just add some more detail. Okay. I think this is cool, like this. So I'm being unafraid with using the color black to imply shadow, because I can just paint over it later towards the end if I want to add more color in the shadow. I'm a big fan of working that way, just sort of not using blending modes and instead just hand paint everything. So like if I want highlights, I'll just add another lighter color, like with actual paint right here, you know, instead of doing it on like a linear dodge layer. That's what I like to do. Why? Because it's possible to do it that way, because I don't have to use blending modes. Because when I do it that way, when I do use blending modes later towards the end, it will end up looking very nice. That doesn't look all that 3D now. I mean, it looks too 3D. Too tilted. So I think it's best to just not add anything. It looks kind of flat like that, but I think it's okay. Maybe it'll look better later. I think for now this might be a good starting point. Like, this could be the main master design, and I can keep drawing until I feel like I have ended up with many different iterations of the same thing. So now what I'm going to do is just start blocking in the flats. And I'm using a big fat brush. What I like to do these days, instead of changing the brush size, just draw fat like that. Okay, here's an example. So I purposefully just make it spill, and then I just erase it like that. And I erased a bit too much, right? And I painted it back in again and block it in over there, and then erase out the spills, and then fill it in again, and then erase out the spills again. I'm gonna do it again, like this. Oops. Make it not spill on one side, but make it spill on the other. And then we just erase. There, that's what I like to do. Although for little areas like this, you know, sure, just shrink down the brush size. Should be fine. And I like these, on the left, you see that? Predetermined sizes, just so I can tap on it and my brush size instantly gets that small, because it just makes it that much faster. Make it spill on one side, erase. Okay, this one's all good. And make it spill purposefully on one side again, erase. This one's okay. Make it spill again and erase. That's all there is to it. Over and over and over. And it's not the case, it's not just the case with making flats, but also with shading, with making silhouettes, you know, sculpting. What else? Well, I guess that's about it, huh? So you make, you sculpt, you make silhouettes, you make flats, and you shade. That's it. That's everything. That's all there is to do with art. And what I like to do these days is just make the line art definitely look rough and loose, you know, because that just allows me to not really fuss over the colors spilling out of the outlines. I don't have to worry about me staying in the lines all that much. Speeds up the work flow and also allows for a more painterly finish. This is pretty much what I'm going to be doing over and over until I've blocked in the entire thing, so I guess I'll see you later. Unfortunately, guys, I have lost the recording of, well, so far, everything I have done so far. But I'll just walk you through what I did. So after blocking in the flats, what I did was I did some shading here in black and white and gray, shadows, lights, and mid-toned, guess you can say. And I flattened everything into one layer, and then I duplicated this and then clipped it below like that, and then I started painting over it like I usually do, and then I flattened everything into this one single normal blending mode layer filled with just a bunch of color. And I have not used any weird color fancy maneuvers with like multiplies and linear dodge kinds of stuff. I haven't done any of that, and I'll just straight up show you right now what I have done. So what I've been doing is this. So I've been shading, well, not shading, I've been coloring just like this, and then I would merge it down, and then I make another layer like that. And every time I make an addition that I like, I would just merge it down like this. And let's say there's something that I don't like, something I've done that I don't like, I won't actually erase it. I would just paint over it, because that way it's sort of, I would keep whatever remnants, whatever older remnants of what I have done. And I don't know if you've tried this before, everybody, but whenever I do that, everything just ends up looking very nice, very painterly. Because you can't erase in real life anyway, right? When you're painting with, let's say, acrylics or watercolor, you can only paint over them. So doing it this way kind of emulates real life. Again, I'm going to merge it down, make another layer above. Let's see if this looks good. And the colors, I would say the colors are for sure earthy and woody. I'm not really thinking much about what kinds of colors will go where. I'm only thinking about, okay, the colors are wood-like and earthy. And I would say that's enough. As long as I use these certain colors everywhere, it should look like this thing is made of wood. Although I have to, just to make this entire painting readable, I have come up with a sort of code, and I'll show you. Everything that's on the upper part of, well, the upper part of any sort of plane or surface is going to be catching this slightly bright gray, and everything that has exposed bits of the inner parts of the wood will have this lighter color, this lighter sort of eggshell color, just like this one too. And surfaces that are somewhat in the middle somewhere, not that far away from us but also not too close to us, will have this saturated clay sort of color. And then everything that would be very close, the closest to us, will have this sort of similar clay color, but it will be more red and more saturated, which is what I'm doing to the hand here, the hand parts as well. Just so that, well, I know I explained it to you just now, but it's just one of those little things that us artists have to sort of take advantage of. You can sort of control how people will look and understand your artwork by forcing them to see your artwork in a certain way. because of a bunch of decisions that you made along the way that made your art look a certain way. And these trees on top, I'm not going to be putting much effort into them because they already look like trees, and I don't really want to, I don't feel like rendering the whole thing. I just don't feel like it. I think rendering the face part would be enough, maybe a little bit more on this entire area, but pretty much that's it. I don't really want to overly render the rest because it's readable enough as it is already anyway. You already know what this is that you're looking at. So again, merge it down. Okay, now what should I do? I think I'll add this gray color and just start shading here on top. By the way, I'm using the angry square brush from my anti-AI brush pack, and this is kind of a very detailed, very tight looking picture where I really go in with super small brush sizes just to get this to look as good as I can. So I guess a lot of the anti-AI textures are a bit lost, but I'm placing my bet on this being somewhat okay by just looking at what it is that actually I've drawn. This entire thing is freaky, you know, it's like a baby that's made of a tree. It's got branches coming out of all sorts of places. It's only got arms and no legs. Well, maybe it used to have legs here, but not anymore. And behind it, here is a giant metallic wheel. I don't really know if the AI can understand this, but I would say it's unique enough for the AI to not be able to recreate this doing multiple different poses, like different poses of the same thing, because I just don't think that I'll be making too many variations of this guy anyway. Well, I guess now more of the textures are coming out, yeah, because I'm using big sizes now. Let me just delete this part. It needs to be like a straight edge. Okay, delete this part. Down. Oh, and also a trick that I like to do is something like this. I make a selection, and also here, tap 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 tap. Tap 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 tap. Maybe here. Tap 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 tap. Again here. Tap 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 tap. And I go in with a darker color and just see if I can make it. Ooh, look at the textures. Okay. I think it needs to be more on the red side. Yeah, just like this. And now let's go near black. Maybe over here I can make it softer, not as harsh. Oh, you see some profanity, I guess. Okay, what now? Let's merge. And I think I'm going to do the sword now to make it easy on me. Just make a selection like this. And the story behind the sword and the axe is every time this mount sort of refuses to listen to its master on where the master wants it to go. Can you save that selection? So anyway, every time this mount refuses to listen to the master on where the master wants it to go. I'd say the master would give this mount a good whack with either the axe or the sword, because it's that kind of world, everybody. Everything is messed up. Everything is somewhat demonic. And I wonder what color these two weapons should be. I'm thinking maybe for the axe, red would be cool. That's like a red axe. Okay, let's just alpha lock this. And then select only this part of the axe. That's not really looking all that metallic, but I think I will be able to come up with a solution. So on top of this, just maybe I want to try something. So that, and then and then another one on the right of it. This is like the the impressionistic highlights that you would see on blades. I don't know if any of you cook, but if you handle knives every day at home, let's say, because you cook, this would sort of be like the types of reflections you would see on your knives when you're holding it or when you're using it. Okay, let's make another one down there. Okay, why don't we make that one a linear dodge layer and duplicate that. Maybe I can blur it. Okay, yeah, that looks nice. Okay, so for the handle of the axe, probably just like this. And by the way, in case you guys don't know, or if you haven't really drawn much of metals, let me just tell you a good trick that you can do. And that is to, well, no matter what kind of metal that you are doing, that you're making, as long as towards the end you sort of give it like a nice overall airbrushy glow. Oh, believe me, man, it's going to look like metal. Easy. Just make a bunch of detail on a hard surface. Doesn't have to make any sense. And then towards the end, you can just add like a glow. Not too much, just a little bit. And I promise you, it will look like it's made of metal. This is cool. I think for the handle, the glow on the handle, I will take care of later. And for this one other sword, I think I'll just make it look like it's somewhat stainless steel. So the entire thing is just metallic, like this. And then, of course, merge it down, reselect, and then I will add like a blade edge down here. So just, that might be cool actually. It looks kind of like a chef's knife, or like a giant cleaver. Or you know what, maybe underneath that I will add like a dark type of thing. So it's gray going into a gradation of black, and then beneath, well, not beneath, on top of it all is almost a pure white. And I'm not afraid of going straight up gray for blades or metals that look like stainless steel, because they really are gray in real life anyway. So what now? I think it's time to do the seat. Although I think I might just get rid of that glow on the axe for now. It's a bit distracting, so I'll make a new layer on top here instead. Okay, so instead of painting, I think I will once again make a selection like this. And these are the tassel parts from the blanket thingy that I made for it. Select more of the tassels also here. Maybe a little bit over here too. Let's just make a selection there. I'm not sure what kind of color I should use for the seat. So let's just see if I can... Ooh, green looks good. Moss green, just like this. Like it's made of moss. Oh, this looks great. Okay, let's go with green. And this entire thing has been looking kind of dull. So I think it would be nice to have a colorful looking detail in a single corner just like this one. just delete that one actually. Yeah. Okay, let's see what I can do with this. Okay, this kind of detail should look good. And then we'll go darker. And I'm going to be using the angry brush to just get a little bit surgical with the shadow shapes here. Okay, yellows in the tassel and maybe a little bit of yellow here too. That's too small. Erase parts of it. Wait a second. Let's do that on a separate layer. So let's just merge that. No, you know what? No. Make a new layer first. And then I will erase parts of it. Like this. Although that kind of makes it look like leather instead, so I might change my mind. Yeah, I'll change my mind. I'll make it grayish instead up here. For the outer parts, maybe a border of yellow like that would be cool. And it will go also down here. Just to make it look like it's a border. And then some parts of it will be randomly darkened. Some parts quite dark. Like so. Okay, let's see if I can sneak in a little bit of turquoise. Yeah, this looks nice. A little bit on the tassel too. Some color I think will be nice. Maybe along the edge of this border as well. And then a darker turquoise. Just like this. This is looking kind of Arabic or Indian. It's cool. I think that's it for the blanket. So let's just merge it all together. And then I think now I want to do the chair thingy. I think it should just be metallic. Yeah, let's make it metallic. Don't forget the selection. Okay. A bit much there. Alpha lock. Let's cover everything in like an overall gray, and then down there, here will be somewhat dark, almost black, and on top here somewhat bright. That should be enough, I think. Makes me wonder if I should just do this entire thing here. Maybe I can just also make it gray. You know what? Maybe not. Nope. Bad idea. This color I will bring over here. So it's chopped off wood. Oh, that's not really showing up. Let's just do the wheels for now. Okay. Here are the wheels. More gray over here. And let's just, for the rest, color drop like that. And alpha lock it. You know what, let's just make a selection as well. And then save it. So I can make the changes up here instead of immediately on the layer itself. I think beneath that will be the lights. I don't want to overdo it, you know. Okay, I think above here could be the multiply layer. And beneath the multiply layer will be linear dodge. That's a bit too bright though. Yeah, it's too bright. Oh, let's just erase parts of it. Okay, this is better. Actually, it's actually a little bit better without the one multiply thingy that I did. Let's see how it looks. I wonder if it can be darker. Let's just make this entire thing darker then. Yeah, this looks nice. Doesn't look like it sticks out now. What if I just use the little willy shader down here and make the lower part there a bit dark? I think this looks cool. Oh, I forgot. What I did sort of spilled out of the selection. So select, I'm going to invert and then cut. There we go. Fixed. So this entire thing I'm going to merge like that. Wait a minute. it didn't look quite right. You know what? Let's just do it one by one. Merge, merge. Oh, it still made like a thingy. You know what? I'm not quite sure why it's doing that, so I'll just leave it. Okay. I think it's actually time to export this. PNG. I'm going to put everything into like a group. Wait, hang on. What's in here? I think I'll just delete this. Don't need that. This is the line art layer, I think. Yeah, let's keep those. Oh, hang on. No. This one will move to the right, so it won't overlap, and then I'll merge it and then turn it off. Okay, select everything. Group. Turn it off, and then I'll paste my export here. Okay. Clip below. And I think I will paint over this entire thing now. This is the part where I like to make it as readable as possible, because what I did before, I would say, yeah, if you tried really hard, I guess you can make out whatever it is you're looking at. But if I just made it a little bit more easier for the eyes, then you won't have to try as hard, so that you should just be able to glance at this and know what it is that you are looking at. What if I make it like a linear dodge there? Let's see what happens. I do want to make it readable, but at the same time I don't want to make it look too colorful, because happiness is not allowed here in my neighborhood. Everything needs to look depressing. Let's use the medium one actually, because the big willy brush is too strong, too big, too hard. Okay. I wonder if a straight up nearly white color would work better. Let's try to see. And I cannot see down there at all. Oh, this looks nice too. This is why I like drawing on non-fancy blending mode layers, you know, because everything just looks easy on the eyes. I like to hand paint every single highlight, and I like to by hand make things dark if I think they need to look dark, instead of using multiplies and color burns and all that. Although it's not like I don't use them at all, it's just I don't use them much until the later phases of the drawing process. Okay, more highlights here, like this, and then more here. Erase like that, gives it a nice texture. And I wonder if I can make, oof, it's a bit too thick. Okay, some hairline highlight here. Wow, that looks nice. It pops out a little bit. I like it. Although I'm not sure if I want to keep the one behind, you know. Let's just fully erase it, because I think I can also add like a like a multiply layer to that part. A layer. Oh yeah, this is a good time to add this color to this part. Yeah, it looks nice now. And these parts as well. And brighter here. There. I guess this area here in the back could be somewhat hidden. All that redness, you know. Let's go back to using this color. Okay, new layer here. Erase that. It's looking like nice textures. Erase that too. So what I'm doing is adding this bright, almost white highlight to all the areas that are facing up as much as I can without being too much. Suppose here would be cool. Like this. A little bit here, just like this. And then this is just a bunch of, I guess, rim lights everywhere. Okay, this is using the angry square. Lots of these are mostly just made using the angry square brush. At smaller sizes is actually quite nice for this rough looking line art type of thing I'm doing now. Okay, that's cool. A little brighter over here in the front. Okay, merge that below because I like the way it looks. That was a nice, I guess you can call it a break in the texture. Let's do it again. Because it was mostly just this black and gray chaotic mess, and now I'm introducing a little bit of clarity. And I think I can even get away with a pure white here. Yeah. And a little bit here as well. Shading here. Let's add that red here in the back, although it needs to just be like a hairline type of thing, just so you can kind of tell better. You know what? No, I want you to be able to sort of differentiate between the axe and the background. So I'll just do something drastic here, I think. Okay, and do it again over here. Okay. What else? I think I can make this part. Somewhat dark. Let's give it a try. Okay, down here could be a little tidier though. Okay. Like this. I think that's enough. That's enough. wonder if I can do something to this part of the burl as well. Just make this selection. Okay, let's see. A bit too dark. What if you do it on the multiply layer? It's going to be kind of reddish. Oh, this looks better. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, that looks better. Might as well move the white layers up here. So I would like to retrieve that blackness. Very nice. Blackness that got covered up a bit too much by the white there. Okay. I've been spending too much time with the well, everything else. I think it's time to do the face now. Finally, the face. Okay, let's paint with the angry square and then erase with the angry brush. Let's imagine the background is a little bit on the darker side. I'm actually not quite sure what kind of color to use here for down here. So maybe I'll add like this reflective type of lighting thingy. I don't know what you call this actually. Well, you know how sometimes the ground would reflect light, and the light from the ground would often be cool colored because there might be water on the ground. Just like this. That looks quite nice. I want to keep it, and I'll make another one over here. Okay, like this. Let's just merge it together. And now I'll erase it a bit up here. Actually, this one eye being dark in the dark, I think looks cool. I'm not sure what to do yet, so I'm going to have to play around first. What if I had more blue here too? Oh, I think this looks cool. And here. Okay. These two burls are in the light now, a little bit from below. And maybe this leg stump as well. And I think I should do this part too, on the palms of the hands. This is another one of my code, at least for this picture. So everything coming from below is going to be dark-ish. I mean bright-ish. To be precise, more in the blue type of lighting. So whenever you look at the blue, you can kind of always understand, oh, that's the part of the body that's facing below. A little bit too much though on the palms. Okay, it's much better now. I'm going to add it to the wheels now. Okay, and this here too. Wonder how it looks with a pure white background. Well, it's not so bad. Looks quite nice actually. I thought I wouldn't be able to see the blue against the white background, but I can. Time to add a multiply layer. See what happens. Wonder if this will look good. Not dark enough. It needs to be quite dark. See, one of my favorites to do, people, is adding like a multiply layer on top of highlights. Let's push these in the back a bit more. Give the tassels some shadow. Okay, and I guess the axe as well, like this. I don't know how I feel about that purple color for the highlights though. At least for now it's somewhat strong looking. Let's push this in the back a bit further. Okay, it's being pushed back. Also this part, because I kind of want this part to just be, it's supposed to just be there. It's not supposed to matter much. Let's see if we can sneak in some FAI textures. That's a bit too much. Okay, this is much better. No, let's make it on a brand new layer. Like this. What if we duplicate this? A bit too dark. What if we make it more on the... Is this green? It is green. No, I'm not sure how I feel about that, so I'll just not do it for now. Take this color again and make more highlights. I think here. Okay. Doesn't have to be all that tidy. I'm being quite rough with it, as you can see. Also here. Okay. Although this one on the back could be just, not these two, could just be dark. And let's add a gray highlight to the metallic chair, and then also pure white. Okay, I think we need to make some more shadows on the wheels. Select the wheels now. Okay, and let's just erase that and then erase that as well. And then shade it like that down here and more, and also here. It's a bit too small. Okay, here, because why not? Doesn't really make any sense, you know, considering where the light source is coming from, but sometimes all you want to do is just make this look readable. So you defy your own lighting rules. You break some rules, so the entire thing will work better. Okay, time for more textures in the back here. And one of my favorite things to do is this. So I'm going to go to the luminance category of Procreate brushes and just add these highlights, these glowing highlights like this. It works nice. It works nicely on metallic objects. It's added here too on the fingers. And on the knuckles too. This is probably my favorite default Procreate brush ever. The light pen brush in the luminance category. It's just so useful for finishing touches like this. What else? I'm thinking about what to do about the leaves actually. But I'm not sure what I can do. So I'm gonna have to explore that off camera, I think. I'll just do that off camera and finish things up a bit. And I guess I'll see you again later. I didn't spend all that long doing the leaves. Well, I did think about what to do with the leaves. I just stared at this for, I don't know, like a good 10 minutes. But the entire leaves drawing is like 5 minutes. I just like use some random leaf brush that I made. I haven't made it public, but I don't really think it matters anyway, because you can get so many leaf brushes out there for free anyway. So if you have one, just use that. But what I did was I made just a leafy canopy shape for the treetops, and then it's just a gradation from this shade of green to just simply pure black, because I don't really care much about this part of the entire picture. I care more about whatever's going on down here. So, and I didn't want you to just stare at the tree all the time, you know, so by making this part more detailed and this part not as detailed, I make you look here more, because this is what matters, and the tree doesn't really matter. And I made it using the willy brushes. You see that? That's a willy. Okay, hang on. Okay, here's a willy. There's lots of willies, really. It's just everywhere. And also here's another one. It's just everywhere. And I might make a final modification. I might, okay? So I'm thinking, hang on, clear that. I'm thinking this part maybe requires some separation, because they kind of not look, this part at least, it doesn't look all that 3D, as in it lacks, like, I don't know if this is the right term for it. Never went to art school, but for sure, it doesn't really look like it's separated from the body, you know, behind it. It kind of looks like it's just stuck together. So maybe if I do something like what I'm going to do now, it might work. And I cannot really explain what I'm going to do, so I'd rather just show you, because this is art anyway. It's all about showing. So let's pick this bluish color. It's on a normal blending mode layer. Maybe it's gonna work, maybe it won't. I don't know. Is that too much or not? Maybe it's not blue enough. What if it's on a linear dodge and add layer? Oh, that's better. Sorry, that's better. Have a bit of a cough, you see. Oh, that's so much better. Let's try again down here. Yeah, okay. Now I'm wondering if... Hang on, let's make a duplicate of that. And what if this is more saturated on a normal layer? Even more saturated, but it's darker instead. Will that work? Okay, this one looks quite nice. What if since I like this one better than what I did before, I think I will try to see if darkening this will make it look better. I think it should be black instead. It's kind of separated, right? I wonder which one is better. What do you think? This is entirely blue, and then this one is not entirely blue. It's got a little bit of black here and there. I'll just keep it. I think I like this one. So now this burl, this part of this monster is sort of separated from the body behind it, you know? I think it looks nice. I think that's it. What do you think? Let me know what you think about the textures. This is one of my more tight-looking paintings where I really went super small with my brush sizes so that a lot of the worded textures might not be all over the place. But the good thing about posting online is you can post close-up shots as well. So when you export like a JPEG at this size, how big is this? This one's 2000 pixels high, which isn't all that big actually in terms of file sizes. I think 3K would be quite HD. This is just 2000 pixels high, and the entire thing from like the hand all the way to the treetop isn't even 2000 pixels. It's like, I don't know, maybe 1700 pixels. It's not all that HD, and when you export something of this size as a JPEG, it could look blurry and all of this detail is lost, and you end up with something that just looks good but you can't really see all that texture. So posting close-up shots would be useful if you want to show the texture, because if you look, you could find these Easter eggs all over the place. Let me just show you. I'm going to use the angry square brush. You see text right there, and there's another one here. So where else? Oh, there's more here. I see an eye there, a ghost eye, a lonely eye, and it's not really all that. What's the word now? You can't really make out what all of the words say, you know, because it's such randomized, chaotic words that have been run through a texture, because that's just what these brushes do, you know. Like, this is what it does. You can see words. I guess if you draw it bigger, you can see it better, like this, all that texture. But if it's just this small, I guess you won't really be able to make out what the words say. But yeah, you can still see the FU. Here's another, it's a CK. It all just says a FAI all over the place. And there's more here. So it's good to just show close-up shots, just so everybody can see the texture. If you care about that, you know, like if you care about people seeing the texture, just so in case anyone is wondering, they would be able to tell which one is real art, which one is AI. I think I'm done with this entire picture. Let me know what you think. And also, if you want to see more of these real-time drawing videos of me where I just talk while I draw, like what I've done with this video and what I've done with my last video where I talked about my free anti-AI brushes, let me know in the comments below. And let me know what you think about the artwork itself. Hopefully what I just showed you how I drew would help you in case you're still learning about art, about how to draw. Maybe I did things that you've never seen before, so hopefully that was helpful. Again, thank you very much for your visit. All of your engagement and kind words really do mean a lot. So I'm very thankful for those of you watching and coming over and subscribing. I guess that's it for this video, and I'll be seeing you in the next